can feign confidence. That's what the pickup artists teach. Now, I would say there's even some utility in what they do, right? Because if you're dependent and bitter and resentful and charmless and self-destructive and nervous and socially unskilled, the probability that you're going to be successful with women is very, very low. Okay, so.
All right, welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you my thoughts on what Jordan Peterson has to say about improving on your social skills. And he's talking about kind of like pickup artists being able to approach women, okay? And for the people that don't know who I am, I'm a dating coach. I help men with their dating lives. I help them actually improve on their social skills so that they can get more dates and attract their dream woman and be able to keep her and have a meaningful relationship. So I'm always making these type of videos that are just, you know, kind of remixing, going with the flow, sharing my thoughts on what Jordan Peterson has to say. So we're going to watch the rest of this video, and I'm just going to give you guys my thoughts on what he's saying in a deeper way. Okay. So let's do it. Let's keep continuing.
So you should be other than who you are. Now, if you start putting on this persona, then you could think about that as a new suit of clothes, and you could learn through that how to fill in the gaps.
Fake it until you make it.
Absolutely, absolutely. But if you take on that without doing the effort necessary to integrate that in a genuine way, then all that's happening is that you're being rewarded for being fake, right? And that's part of the problem with that too, is that you're practicing learning how to manipulate people in a psychopathic way. And if you practice that, of course you're going to become jaded. Like, there's nothing more jaded than a psychopath. I mean, that's the ultimate extreme of jadedness. And if you practice manipulating, especially if the women happen to be reasonably good women, if you practice manipulating them and you're successful, then you're learning to be one horrible person. Now, you know, as your completely useless, unproductive, and undesirable former self, you weren't exactly stellar to begin with. I had a guy in my clinical practice who got involved with the pickup artist community, and he taught me a lot about it. And one of the exercises that their initiates had to do was to go out and ask 50 women for their phone number in one day. And that's a great exercise, you know, and I'm not
exposure therapy, approach anxiety.
Absolutely. Getting over your fear of rejection, right?
Yeah. Boom. So Jordan Peterson agrees that we can all agree that if you work on your social skills and getting the ability to be able to approach strangers is a great power in itself, because right now we live in a digital world where everything is on our phone. We have dating apps, social media. We have, you know, all the Reddit. We have, you know, like one Amazon where you just click a button and things come to you, right? Everything is so easy now. But the thing about it is social skills is declining for man and for people in general. And, you know, the more that we're going into this world, the more that, you know, people are going to have a harder time on just being able to make more friends. We're more stuck in isolation because we have just friends online through Discord or video games, or just people that we meet online. We never meet in person. And the ability to just be able to, you know, be good with people, having people skills is going to, like I said, it's declining, right? So being able to, like, if you want to improve on your social skills, you need to do it in real life. The game is played in real life. It's not played on a video game. It's not played on theory knowledge, right? A lot of guys have theory knowledge where they're just going online and looking at all the comments of what people have said about, oh, I approached a woman and, you know, harassment, or you're going to go to jail, or, you know, you're going to get rejected. Like, they don't really know, because, you know, all of their knowledge is based off of other people's opinion rather than your own opinion. So this is why it's important, if you are in a place where you want to improve on your social skills, you want to make new friends, you want to make new connections in your life, and also you want to be able to have the ability to talk to a pretty girl that you like in real life, you have to improve on your social skills, okay? There was a time in my life where when I moved 2013, I moved from Texas to San Diego, California. And as soon as I got here, I was like, holy crap, there's like so many pretty girls here. Oh my God, like everywhere I went, there was absolutely gorgeous girls. But for me, I didn't know how to approach girls. I was like, you know, too timid. I was like, I would stutter. I would do so many, my voice would crack, right? I didn't know how to keep the conversation going, what to say, all these things. But, you know, it was through my pain of how I felt that I was like, you know what? I want to improve on this area of my life. And I had a couple friends that were kind of doing this, and I just saw that the reactions weren't that bad. Like whenever that they were approaching a girl, the reaction, like even if it was a negative reaction, like getting rejected, wasn't as bad as I thought. Okay, I was like, whoa, like, and even if they did get the number, I was like, holy crap, like just give me a little bit of hope. Like if they can do it, I can do it as well. And that's what led me to being able to like do it on my own. Go to go to seminars like later like 2014, and I went and looked at the people that were actually teaching this back in the day, and I took notes, I implemented, and it transformed my dating life to where I was able to approach women with confidence. I knew what to say, how to keep the conversation going, and get into a call to action, ask women out the right way. And that led me to being able to get dates. I also got rejected. That was part of the process. But you know what I realized was getting rejected wasn't as bad as I thought. I always thought, oh my God, rejection's going to be so bad. Oh my God, if I go speak to her, she's going to just, like, she's going to like, it's going to be so bad. But one thing I realized was literally every time that I would get rejected, this was literally the worst case. It would be either 3 reactions from a woman. It would be, number 1, I'm not interested. Number 2, she would look at me and she said, I have a boyfriend. Number 3, she looked at me and she just walked away. And when I realized that those 3 weren't even that bad, it was just like, hey, I'm not interested. And from there, it made me take more risks because it was all in my head. And that's the big thing that I see with a lot of guys, is that they're suffering more in their head than like the reality. Seneca says it best. He says we suffer more from our imagination than in reality, right? So that's what I'm saying. We're all imagining worst case scenarios, but once we actually do it and approach women because we want to find a girlfriend, we want to find a partner, we want to find a wife, or we just want to make more friends, we realize it's not as bad as you think. Okay. Another thing too, to just cancel this out with this, because here's the thing, as I got more dates and I improved on my dating life, I was able to approach my wife at the gym. Okay. And this was 7 years ago. We've been together for 7 years and we have a kid, and it's the most amazing, meaningful thing in my life. And in my opinion, if I never would have worked on my skills, as far as like my social skills, my risk-taking skills, I never would have met my wife. And we have the soulmate connection. And, that's the power that God gave me to be a man, to be a leader, to take control of my life and not really go into like becoming a victim of like my fate, just letting, because I started at 0, man. I wasn't the best. I'm telling you. So if I could do it, anyone can do it, but you need the right people in your team. You need the right coaching. You need the right accountability. You need to be able to get feedback, right? That's one of the things that really helped me out. And that's the reason why my clients succeed, is because I give them the blueprint to be able to do this. And, social skills is more than just approaching women and like what he's saying about like being manipulative, right? Because you can do it in a positive way where, your intention is not to just, be a dick and just like use women, right? Because the power that you have when you have the ability to approach anybody is, you want to use it for good, because we all have good and evil, right? And our goal is to use it for good and to understand evil, but to not use it, right? Because there's a lot of guys out there who, like Jordan Peterson saying, like they go into this life where they gain the power, they gain the skills, but yet they're just like, okay, like let me go and get a woman. Okay, let me get another woman, get another woman, get another. And it's like this life of just them being a degenerate. And it's just like, it's a low value life, in my opinion. It's a shallow life. I think like in the beginning, some guys just like want to hook up and, they start to see kind of like, oh yeah, this is fun. But the reality is the goal is to have the skills and confidence to, be able to attract your dream woman and get into a meaningful relationship. Right now, obviously you gotta be selfish with like who you choose. You're not going to just choose the first one that comes into your life if she has a bunch of red flags, right? I mean, come on. But, if you like the clients that I worked with, they came from like their social skills weren't good. They had challenges, but yet we worked on it. They joined the program. And from there, they were able to meet women in real life, approach women, build more confidence. That led to having more confidence at work when they were like, let's say, for example, if they're an engineer, whenever that they were doing the meetings, they were more confident to speak up. They were able to improve on their people skills, their interpersonal skills, as far as like knowing how people are, how to, be more charming, be more charismatic, how to improve on their storytelling, because you can do it in a genuine way. The way that I teach my guys is in doing it in a genuine way with the end goal is meaningful relationships, meaningful connections, right? And, every time that I work with my guys, they're transformed, just like my life was transformed when this happened to me. So I really do believe every man, they can get this power and use it in a good way. Okay. Just like anything, right? If you take martial arts, for example, and like you learn like Brazilian jiu-jitsu and you get to be really good, you can take the power for good for defending your family, right? But some guys will take it into like wanting to go out and like get into fights and like, how they're having big ego about like, being a bully, right? So it was always in their heart of being evil. So it's the same thing when it comes to learning your social skills, right? Or getting better at your social skills. You can use it for good, you can use it for evil. Most of my clients that I work with, I only work with guys that want to use their power for good, right? And what I've seen is, like I said, they make more friends than ever. It's so much easier to make friends because, one of the things that I would arguably say that a lot of people do when it comes to like their social skills, especially talking to women, is that they only focus on talking to women. And I think that's a huge mistake in the beginning. What I believe to get your overall social skills better is to talk to everyone and anyone. So that means like talking to a guy, talking to a woman, talking to an old grandpa, talking to an old grandma, just being able to strike up conversations with new people. If you can just start to do that and start small, just by doing that, you start to realize, holy crap, like it's actually good. It's not as bad as I thought. That's like the first thing right there. It's like, wow, it's not that bad. Like I'm actually getting positive responses. This is like a very common thing that my clients tell me when they first start. And they're like, holy crap. Like, and then we keep going, moving forward and, adding a little bit more bigger goals, stay in the conversation a little bit longer. If it's a cute girl, ask for her number. There's right ways to ask for her number. And then from there, even if they get rejected, they're like, wow, like it wasn't as bad. And then they gain confidence. That's how confidence you stack. And then from there, then you're getting the skills, refining on like being more confident, knowing what to say, how to say it, being more charming, being able to demonstrate higher value through your storytelling, through, how to kind of improvise a little bit, have a little bit better sense of humor, right? And that in itself translates to whenever that, like, for example, you go on a date on a dating app. Well, if you worked on the things that are a little bit more challenging, like approaching strangers, well, then when you're on a date with a girl, it's going to be so much easier because it's a one-on-one, it's a human interaction. You're still going to have to talk to her. And if you never work on your social skills, well, you can still get the dates, but when you go out into the date, you're going to struggle. Your confidence is not going to really be there. Your communication skills, your storytelling, it's going to be harder. So like for me, that's one of the things that really helped me out was like when I approach women and like being able to improve my social skills with overall that right there. When I went on a date with a girl from a dating app or social circle, anything like that, it was easy because I was doing the hard things, right? And that's something that you guys can easily apply as well. You guys just need the right guidance. So if you guys want coaching, just apply on my website. Link is below. But back to this video.
50 times they'll do that because you're going to get rejected the vast majority of
50 times.
But, well, likely 50 times. Although generally that wasn't people's experience. If they were even vaguely skilled, they'd at least get a false phone number out of the deal. But then they learned that the rejection wasn't as catastrophic as they thought. But more importantly, they learned that they could continue moving forward in the face of rejection.
So the thing that it...
Boom. Man, I love that. They learned that rejection wasn't as bad as they thought. And then one of the big things here, once that they got rejected, they can bounce back and move faster in their life and take more risk in their life. And that builds so much more confidence in your overall life. I love the way that Miyamoto Musashi says on this quote, he's like the greatest samurai ever. Look him up. He says, if you know the way broadly, you will see it in everything. So once that you do something, you're going to realize that right there is going to be able to, you can do it in other things because you're more confident in this arena, meaning like you're approaching people. Well, once that you realize that the rejection isn't as bad as you think, you're going to take more risk in like your business, right? This is what I've seen with my clients is like, when I work with my clients who are like engineers, for example, they want to create a startup. They have the confidence to create a startup. They have the confidence to ask for the raise. They have the confidence to ask for negotiation as far as like their salary, and they're able to make more money. They're able to improve on their social skills. They're able to make more friends. They're able to take more risk. They're able to take more risk with women and you know, attract their dream woman. You know what I mean? So this is so like important, and I feel like this is like kind of like a lost art as far as like, you know, when times are challenging for a man to persevere, to handle adversity with, you know, with poise. And I feel like sometimes guys just are living this easy life that, you know, if they get hit with a rejection, one rejection, oh, my life is over. Oh my God, let me go to Reddit. It's like, no, dude, like, I'm telling you, temporary defeat is a secret ingredient to success. It's a stepping stone. As long as you understand what you're doing and like you continue to do it and persevere and get it a little bit better each time, that's going to build the confidence for you to be a better leader in your life and, you know, be a better communicator, because communication is such an important thing. It doesn't matter if it's just only approaching women, it's everybody in general. The better that you get with your communication, the better that you're going to be able to deal with people, because life is all about dealing with people, no matter what you do. Even if you're only like, let's say that you're in a relationship with a girl, you have a girlfriend, you got to be willing to improve on your communication with her and your interpersonal skills as far as like understanding her, right? You still have to be able to attract her. You know, let's say that you have a kid. Well, you have a boy or a girl, and then she starts to grow up. You want to be a better communicator with her. You want to, or with him, you want to be a great storyteller. You want to be able to persuade, influence, you know, get people your idea. Maybe you have an idea for a business or a startup. You want to be able to sell people on your vision, and you can never really do it if your communication skills are not there and if you don't have the confidence, right? So all of this, it translates to everything, right? Leonardo da Vinci says, learn to see. Realize that everything connects to everything, right? Everything connects to everything. And the big way to connect to everything is improving on your social skills. If you improve on your social skills, guess what that's going to do to you for your life? You're going to improve on your ability to get better with people, because you're going to start to, the more that you work on this the right way, the more that you're going to be able to know how people are feeling, what they're thinking. Their interpersonal intelligence is a muscle that most people don't have. It's like them going to the gym, working out upper body, and they're neglecting their legs, right? Their legs are going to be skinny as hell. It's like chicken legs, right? They're always wearing sweatpants. So you need to, understand that that's a muscle in itself. That's a body part in itself that you got to use, and you can never use it if you never work on your social skills. So I'm telling you, everything connects to everything. Your life is going to be like so much more improved, and your overall life is going to be so much more happier, because you're going to take the risk. Without taking risks, taking challenges in your life, a man will never truly grow. Okay. I promise you. So start taking more risk in your life by doing this. If you don't know what to do as far as like how to improve on your social skills, you need the right roadmap. Like I said, book a call on my website below. And the cool thing that I'm doing as well is I'm going to be doing a school community, where in the community, we're going to work on dating and relationships. And, the big emphasis is going to be on how to improve on your social skills, how to improve on your communication skills, how to understand and improve on your interpersonal skills, and how to deal with people. So that way that you can make more friends, you can make new connections, you can meet more women, get dates. Maybe you're not getting the dates that you want with the right woman, because guess what? You're probably not matching with the right girl on the dating app, because everyone is there. But guess what? You're probably seeing beautiful women all the time in real life. Well, imagine what that would look like if you had the confidence and the competence and the technical ability to talk to her with your communication and be able to, win her over and make her your girlfriend. What would that do to your life? And then guess what? You guys are in a meaningful relationship. And guess what? She's your wife. Imagine that, right? So I'm building a community for this, for people like you who want to improve. And then guess what? Another skill set is being able to keep her, right? I've been with my wife for 7 years. It's every year I'm learning new things, because, attracting women and keeping women, there's two different skill sets, right? So imagine being able to keep your dream woman and being happy there, and then focusing on other things of your life. Imagine what that would look like, right? So if you're interested in joining a community like this, what I want you to do is I want you to click the link below. It says school waitlist. Okay. So it's basically a wait list for whenever I start the school community. It's going to be in a couple weeks to a month or two. Once I create it, you're going to have the training programs are going to be on there. It's going to be amazing. And then we're going to have weekly calls. You guys are all going to come on Zoom, ask Q&A, and we're going to have, challenges that you're going to be able to do, and with other guys just like you that want to win, because this is an important thing. I'm telling you, if you work on this area of your life, you're going to be so much more confident. You're going to take more risk, and your life is never going to be the same. I promise you, right? So let's continue with the video.
Makes me think about there is intellectual humility and how tightly people hold on to their beliefs, that if you believe that you are always going to be right, that there is nothing to learn outside of you, and that any kind of admission that you might be wrong is tantamount to destruction, it does exactly the same thing. You need to, and it goes back to asking stupid questions, being prepared to ask the stupid questions and look not like the most informed person in the room, but also importantly, nowhere near the most stupid person in the room, because you're the one that's asking the question.
Well, the stupidest person in the room is the person who doesn't know and won't ask. Or even worse, who doesn't know and won't ask and acts like they know.
Yeah.
That's not good at all.
Oh man, I love what he just said. So he just said that the stupidest person is a person who has a question but is not going to ask, right? What does that mean? That means that you can really be honest with yourself as far as okay, what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses in my life? And maybe if I have a weakness here, aka social skills, maybe I have a hard time, making friends and talking to women, or just being able to, improve on, my confidence. Well, that's a thing where you can ask somebody, that knows what they're doing, has a system, has helped other guys out, and ask them out and be like, yo, how do I do this? What is the game plan? What do I need to do? Right? If you do that, I'm telling you, your life is going to be forever never the same. It's going to change. Okay. I remember I was in my Toastmasters class one day, and this guy, he was a public speaker, came in, and I remember the one thing he said in his speech, it was like a 20-minute speech. He said, ask as many people what you want in your life, and someone is bound to help you. And I remember when he said that, I was like, damn, I'm not asking anybody for help. I've asked a couple people, but I can ask way more. And I started to do that, and it changed everything, right? So if you are struggling in your social skills, if you're struggling in your dating life, if you're struggling in the way that you communicate with people, if you're struggling with your people skills, right? Just ask for help. Start to ask for help, even if it's not me. For me, I want to help people that want this, that were what? I'm tired of where I'm at, because that's how I looked at my life, was I'm tired of where I'm at. I'm tired of being the third wheel. I'm tired of not getting what I want. I see pretty girls all the time, and I just don't know what to do. I feel powerless. I don't have the connections that I want as far as the friendships with other guys. Let me improve on this. I'm tired of this. No more of this. And that's where I made the decision to look out for, seek out the mentors, seek out the coaches, back 2013, 2014. And I never looked back. I was happy that I made that decision. So if you're in the same place, you're asking yourself, I don't want to be like this anymore. I'm tired of doing this. You got to ask for help. Okay. So if you guys like this video, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow my channel. Okay. And I'll be posting weekly content like this all the time. And like I said, I'm going to build the community. And, if you are a guy that wants to take action in your life and improve this area for life, then join the wait list. If you want to expedite this process immediately and get the one-on-one coaching directly with me, book a call. You're going to talk to me in the call. We're going to dive deeper into your situation, your goals. And then from there, I'm going to give you a step-by-step system. We're going to work together one-on-one. It's a fast lane to being able to do this, because you're doing it directly with me. Okay. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Let's keep crushing it, baby.